quite live.
We're not quite live yet. On the others we are. Good morning to the people we are live.
We are just about to start the full day of questioning of Helen Steel at the undercover policing inquiry. Helen is the only activist who's appearing during this phase. We've finished with Bob Lambert, thank God. She will be being questioned on her written statement, which she finally submitted just at the end of the last phase of hearings. Technically, she's not part of this phase. I'm joined by Robin Wells.
Hello, greetings.
From Fossil Free London, who has been making loads of videos on her Instagram about what's been happening at the inquiry lately.
At Not Drill 410.
And what?
That's my handle.
Oh, right, yes. Yeah, you're not a drill 410.
At Not a Drill 410.
410, as opposed to 420.
Well, 410 was the parts of carbon in the atmosphere when I made the account.
Right.
I needed a number. I thought, make it climate related.
So Helen today will be being questioned about every aspect, theoretically, of how she was spied on by undercover police. That spans from Bob Lambert, who we've obviously been listening to this week, who spied on her when he was infiltrating London Greenpeace. It will relate to John Dines, who also infiltrated London Greenpeace and deceived into a long-term intimate relationship. After John Dines disappeared, Helen spent a great deal of time tracking him down, travelling to New Zealand, to Australia, before finally confronting him at an Australian airport. So during that time period, there was something called Operation Muscat, which was an SDS operation to monitor her and monitor the way in which she was trying to find Dines. So a lot of other undercover officers spied on her. So there's a huge amount of ways in which she was targeted by undercover police. Obviously, John Dines has refused to appear at the inquiry, but numerous undercover officers, Jason Bishop, Andy Coles, pretty much all the undercover officers, it feels like, have reported on Helen Steel. So there's a lot we're expecting from there.
And how come he's allowed to not come? Like, are officers allowed to just say they don't want to be part of it?
No, theoretically, basically he lives in Australia, so they can't compel somebody outside the UK. Interestingly, HN86...
Even if he's a British citizen?
Well, quite so. Should he attempt to return to the UK, he might have issues. Okay. For example, HN86...
So he's breaking the law by not coming?
In theory.
In theory.
Yeah, the question is that would he
face any reprisals?
Exactly.
Yeah. Would the police go after the police?
So
unlikely.
This seems to be more kind of pertinent for HN86, who is due to appear.
What does it mean, HN86?
So the HN numbers are the HERN numbers, which we use as a cipher to refer to each of the undercover officers.
So it's a code for people they don't want to reveal the names of.
Yeah, absolutely. Though everybody's got one, so some officers, it's referred to as well as their real name. But HN86, we don't know his real name. He never had a cover name because he was a manager. He lives abroad. And is
this is the back office guy we're hearing from today. Okay.
No, we're not hearing from him today. He is due to appear at the inquiry during this phase, but he has resisted. He brought a judicial review to attempt to stop himself being called to have to appear. He was unsuccessful in that. He still might not appear. He would appear remotely if he did appear. If he doesn't, should he return to the UK, he would face arrest. He might choose never to return.
This guy, HN someone?
HN86.
Okay.
Yeah. HN86 is was the detective inspector of the unit when Peter Francis was deployed. Peter Francis says that he was an extreme racist, would often use use racial slurs on a regular basis, had a particular vendetta against Dwayne Brooks, who was the friend of Stephen Lawrence, who was attacked on the same day that Stephen Lawrence was murdered, that he directed his officers to gather dirt on the Lawrence family, had a huge problem with Imran Khan, made a lot of racist comments about him, and claimed that Imran Khan was somehow leading the black community. He referred to this in a way which involved animals, which I won't repeat because they're deeply disturbing. Other officers, we heard from John Webb yesterday, who also worked with HN86. He said he claimed he never heard any racism, not just from HN86, but never this whole time in Special Branch, which doesn't add up, quite frankly. But I think today, we'll be hearing from Helen. It will be very different to everything else we've heard during this phase. Obviously, as it's the only activist giving evidence, I think it's quite. I think it's fair to say that this inquiry would not be happening were it not for Helen Steel. And I think her, it was her tenacity in the first place to find John Dines and also to link up with other people who felt they'd been deceived by undercover officers, which kind of created the impetus that's led to this inquiry taking place.
Yeah, and her bravery to push through and bring it to light, because I suppose if you found out there was a secret plot at the heart of the British state to spy on the progressive left, and you were uncovering it, you would feel in a huge amount of danger.
And which is, I think, previous to Helen, there had been others who had felt they, who, unbeknownst to them perhaps, had uncovered SDS officers. I mean, most notably, Big Flame uncovered Rick Gibson when he was deployed undercover with infiltrating the Troops Out movement. I mean, they confronted him with his death certificate, but I mean, that did not lead to him being fully uncovered. He managed to get out of the situation.
So that's the death certificate of the child whose identity he stole.
Right, exactly. Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, they confronted him with. They put the evidence in a sealed envelope. They gave it to some journalists. They said, if anything happens to a member of Big Flame, then
this is why.
This is why. But
yes, it's chilling, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So a lot to expect from today. Is there anything you're looking forward to hearing about?
I mean, I'd be interested if McLibel comes up and all the situation around.
I mean, it will almost certainly. Yeah.
There was a lot of evidence already yesterday about John Dines and Helen Steel and what happened with her trying to find him, and it would be interesting to hear her account of that. But you were saying that because her evidence in that regard is not like contested by John Dines because he's not appearing at the inquiry, there might not be a great deal of investigation into that the things they ask questions about tend to be things that maybe are contested or they need a bit more information on, whereas in this case they probably just have her statement and might take it as read. Is that right? It's
possible, yeah. I mean, it's hard to guess really the way in which they'll approach it, but that seems likely. Okay, so we're back. I mean, the hearing will start at 10 a.m. The broadcast will start at 15:15. Please tune in if you can, and we'll see you during the first break.